Okay, so I am sharing my screen. Okay. So I think it's visible to you all.
Yes, ma'am.
There are, yes, in this PPT, there are various slides for, description of all the display devices and all. So I don't think that much is required. So just be familiar. Earlier there was a monochrome monitor, grayscale monitor, and then came a color monitor. And all these are like CRT based. Cathode ray tube display device is used as a in computers and in TV as a CRT screen. So they are having, their own mechanism. So we are not going to in much detail of this. Now CRT display unit or CRT based computer system looks like this. And similar way the TV was. In TV, there was no keyboard or any other accessories or peripheral devices. Just a TV is connected to a simple antenna, which we call Yagi Uda antenna. It's a array of rods, you can say, which are kept at the top. So through this, and nowadays LCD, that is liquid crystal diode display. Many questions, not many questions, one or two questions you may have. Just like in match the following version, the full form of the some abbreviated term like LCD, LED, or CRT. So that is not the whole mechanism, how it works and all. All right. Plasma is using, electrically charged ionized gases. That's why it is called gas plasma sometimes. So all our the LCD, LED, and plasma TVs are flat screen, which is not having, some mechanism behind the display unit, to some cathode ray or some radiation used to illuminate some luminance particles. Some in TV, like in LED, here it is. LED, there are minute light emitting diodes are placed, and there are combination of the fine slides, one behind one, and there is a color dots, color LEDs are used, and there are three primary colors, all right, the red, green, and blue. And the combination of this, the various other shades of the primary colors can be made. So every single unit, you can say, size will be in micro meters, or some little these fluorescent dots or LEDs are used, and they get illuminated as the signal comes in, and that's why you will have the whole picture. So I think that much is enough to know about. The main thing come to like display ports and connectors. Sometimes they ask because it is, some abbreviated terms are used for this connectors, and you should know how many connectors, which connector is used for which purpose. So we'll have certain things like here the picture like HDMI, DisplayPort, VGA, DVI for some video display, and there are composite connectors also having three colors. All right, like this. Composite means it contains audio, video, both signals. So it may be of this type, or it may be composite means video and audio both, and component video means only the video content is the video signals goes through this connector. So these are the physical version, or you can see the picture of various connectors. Now let's see one by one. So there are different ports and different connectors which we use for displaying different graphics, like images. Now, how many connectors, how this signal passes, that is not of our concern here. All right. You must be just familiar with the, different types of connectors, what being, you are studying ICT, that's why. So one is like DVI. DVI is visual interface. So this connector carry only the video signals in three ways. Okay. So DVI-D, that is the digital, and other is DVI-A, that is the analog version. And third is the integration of both, the integrated signal, mixing signal, digital and analog both. So just be familiar with this term DVI, that is the digital visual interface. All right, then HDMI, which is very useful or very familiar term, high definition multimedia interface. Now this again contains both the signals, audio and video signals, and mostly it is used in theater displays as well as in monitors also to get the better effect of visual as well as audio. So this connector has its own special kind of port on the system. Then there is a S video, some separate video connector, and it also holds both the signals, and the resolution is not a very good, like it is low as compared to HDMI interface because it has only 4 pins. Now, how many signals? If you divide a single signal into various parts, so if the signal is distributed or transmitted in a small fragments, then you will get much more clarity because the division is so many. So every minute detail of that signal, whether it is an audio signal or video signal, you will uh, get. So that's why number of connectors, number of wires, and number of ports are there. So as per the demand, as per the need, they choose those connectors. Then there is RGB video. RGB stands for red, green, and blue. So generally, the television or color display or any other display, this connector can be used, but it is not suitable for PC because it carries only the video signals. Now, composite videos, it is simply a yellow color connector, which we have seen, and it's yellow color part in the RCA cable, and it is used only for the video signal. And there are RCA connectors which are red and white, which was there in here. It is red and white, these two. So which are used for this composite connector in order to carry audio signals. So generally it is used in television where we need both type of signals simultaneously. As what the picture is depicting, the audio should be there. And the satellite receivers also. And then there is a VGA. VGA is Video Graphic Array. Now, these connectors are used in PC and project displays, and it carries analog signals for the displaying. It is a 15 pin, 5 pins in each row, and every port, every connector has its own importance, right? Own speciality, you can say. Then there is a Thunderbolt. Thunderbolts are mostly used here. It is something wrongly written. It maybe I think it is Mac iOS. It is designed for that, for fast response and better control, easy access. You can say to store files, documents, or any text or any data. And it also contains both the signals, audio as well as video. So and they carry both the signals, and data from, and you can like one device to another, the transmit, you can transfer. So these connectors have their own ports with special symbols on them, that thunderbolt symbol, no? With that lightning symbol that they have. Then some display ports, these ports are more or less same as Thunderbolt, but its shape is almost same as USB port. USB port, you are very much familiar with what USB stands for. Anybody? We use always, right? A USB port. This laptop is having or not having, or somewhere for mobile charge. Uh, Sorry,
Pen drive OTG.
Universal serial bus, ma'am.
it is universal serial bus.
Pen like
Uh-huh. It is also a connector, right? It is
yes, ma'am.
just to
Connected,
transfer
connected.
the data, some signals. So you need a special. It is a universal in nature because it is not possible, to have the different types of ports or different type of connectors in each and every device or mobile. So sometimes it should be like uniformity. Then only you can connect one device to the other. So USB ports are a general port which we use mostly. We are using it. So it is, you can say, a mechanism which you can use the various peripheral devices or output devices to the computer and also to the mobile phones nowadays. So this is all about the port, and this technology is used for data and visual signals also nowadays. If you are having something, video clip or a movie in your laptop, and you want to copy from some pen drive to your system, or from your system to pen drive, and see at some other place, so you can do by using these types of codes. Now, very important topic, which is a printer. Sometimes they ask some questions about the types of printers, and they'll give you, some printer and which type of ink they are using, whether it is impact or non-impact. So just remember a few things about the printers. All right, because there are so many printers which are used nowadays and earlier days also. Because and they sometimes they ask the unit, how the speed of a printer is measured. All right. If it is in a pages, then it is page per minute. If it is a impact printer making some dots, then it is dot per inch. So printers are mostly used and a popular output device, and they provide information in some permanent format, or you can say in a hard copy, uh, a readable form, and you can give to somebody else that those printed form, or you can take for yourself at any other place where you cannot take your system, or if there is no Wi-Fi, or it is not feasible to you to carry your system with you. So you can take out some prints from your system, and then you can use it. So print text or image on paper, it is called the hard copy. All right. And something which is there in your system, we call it soft copy, because only the system can provide uh, that document. No? You are not having it on your hand, and you cannot take it out from the system without printer. So this printing speed of a printer is measured in 2 units, pages per minute, or resolution is often measured in dot per inches, how many dots it makes per inch. So that is the resolution. That is the, the accuracy or clarity, or you can say more efficient manner if there are more dots per inch. All right. Now, what are the types of printers? Now, there are broadly two types of printer: impact printer and non-impact printer. Let's see first this block diagram. Here, the printers, two types: impact and non-impact. Now, impact printers are again of two types: character printers and line printers. Depending upon how they print the document or text or any image, you can say. So, character printers uses, recognizes the characters and then they print character wise. So, there are two types again: daisy wheel printer and dot matrix printer. Now, if they ask a dot matrix printer or some printers they have given in the choices, and again they ask, okay, which one are impact printer or which one are non-impact printer. Either way, or they can ask match the following. They'll give some printer and the main type, and then their subtypes. So you should remember which printer comes under which heading. So broadly two: impact and non-impact, and then the impact printer are of two types: character and line printer. Character printer are having again two types: daisy wheel printer, dot matrix printer; line printer, drum printer and chain printer. So chain printer, drum printer, line printer, character printer, daisy wheel printer, and dot matrix printer. All six types are under impact printer, right? And non-impact printer, which are using some ink or some, you can say, impact printer uses the dots. All right, they make some impression on the copy, and that's why they print the thing. And non-impact printer, they are using some scanning rays or some inks. So laser printer, inkjet printer, and thermal printer all are non-impact printer. So remember these two things. Now let's see something in more detail. So impact printers use electromechanical mechanism, and this printer refers to all those printers whose printing needs heads touch the paper. So they make some impression on the paper. So its mechanism uses hammers or pins, to strike against a ribbon and paper to print the text or image. So they make, some impression or impact by using some head on the paper. That's why they are called impact printers. Now, character printers and line printers both are impact printers. So, character printers print a character at a time. All right. And they are, because they are printing the whole character, so they are slow speed printer. So, their speed lies like 10 to 600 characters per second. In 1 second, they can print 10 to 600 characters. And these character printers may be daisy wheel or dot matrix. So daisy wheel look like this, and dot matrix, uh, both are daisy wheel. Now this is the outer look, and this is the inner mechanism, how it works. So I don't think much thing or the working principle is required. You must remember how it works. Making impression, that is the impact printer, and it may daisy wheel character prints a character, and there are how many characters per second represents its speed. So the speed of daisy wheel printer is 10 to 75 characters per second, and they are slow in nature because they have to print the whole character, and the noise level is somewhat high because they are electromechanical. Some mechanical movement is there. So wherever there are some mechanical movement in electronics, they make the system slower, because some signal comes and then they make movement, as compared to, the other forms, like where the radiation travels very fast, like it is in electromagnetic waves, they travel very fast as compared, or you can say they travel as the speed of a light. And this mechanical parts, they are having, some speed which is very make the whole system slower. So that's why if there is some movement, some mechanical movement, they create noise as well. So noise levels are high, and that's why, because these printers are commonly, you can relate it with electronic typewriter, not ordinary the earlier days typewriter, but electronic typewriter, which are faster. But yes, they make noise and the speed is slow. Then dot matrix printer. Dot matrix printers are they are having, some patterns of dots. So their head is made up of matrix of tiny noodles, like 9 rows, 7 columns. So we are not going into much detail. Just remember the speed, like 40 to 600 characters. They are having some what faster as compared to the daisy wheel printer, and they are less expensive also. Then line printers. Line printers are again impact printers, and they are used with mini and mainframe computers, and they produce large volume outputs because these computers are made for some, specified, they are used for some special purposes, not like microcomputers like we are using, like our PC, or this is for ordinary working, not some specialized field. So these printers print one line of the text at a time. That is why they are known as line printers. Now, speed lies, the range will be 300 to 3000 lines per minute. So remember the speed of line printer, 300 to 3000 lines per minute. So actually, line printers prints only one character at a time, but because of its high printing speed, observer observes that it brings a whole line together, because our eyes are also having some limitations. We cannot differentiate if the speed is too fast, like in our screen, uh, like earlier it was CRT, the picture or the thing is illuminated line by line, it's starting from the, say, left corner, then it goes to right, then again change to line by line. But it is so fast, you cannot differentiate. Like we see our movies in theater. The reels are, are there in a projector. So this reel will be, they are, the camera captures, because they are not having those type of cameras earlier. They just film. In film, they just click the each and every shot of the movement, and they are played at such a speed in a theater or in a cinema house. So our eyes sees the pictures are moving, like every character is moving. So they are actually the projection of still pictures at a fast rate. So our eyes cannot make it if such printers are, print so fast, line by line. We just see the whole page at one time. So how that much fast they are, because 300 to 3000 lines per minute, our eyes cannot differentiate here. It cannot catch how the printer is moving, from line to line. So that's why they are also printing one character at a time, but the speed is so fast, so we cannot observe, we cannot differentiate how the printing is going on line by line. So there are two types of line printers, drum and chain printer. It looks like this. That like drum is there is a cylinder type thing where um, this letters are there embossed on the surface of this drum, and then each set of print hammers is associated with each character, so it makes an impression, and then the drum rotates and hammer weight for the desired character. As the signal activates that hammer, it prints that character on the paper or on the sheet. So this is the way they are doing the thing. Then chain printer is also there, which contains the characters, and it is used for printing. So the chain knows, the printing chain rotates, and we are not going into much detail because you'll get confused. Just remember the speed and the name and which type of printer they are in, impact or non-impact. All right. So the speed is 400 to 24,000 lines per minute here. And because mechanical movement involved in all those printers, that's why the noise level is higher. Because there are they all are electromechanical printers. All right, now non-impact printers. Non-impact printers, no mechanical movement is there in non-impact printers. So these printers use some ink and some electrical machines for producing the output. So printing heads do not touch the paper here. So a non-impact printers form, characters and images on the paper without actually striking the paper. So that's why they are less noisy and much faster. So only three types: laser, inkjet, and thermal printers. Now, laser is nothing but some radiation of light. So they print one page at a time. So that's why this laser printer sometimes we refer to as page printers. So laser printers uses electronics, all the electronic signals and some radiation mechanism in it. Light, uh, you can say laser beam is used, and then xerography and other techniques. So they are called the electro photographic technique. Now, laser beam is directed across the surface of a light or a photosensitive drum, because laser is nothing but some stimulation of light, right? And they just focus at one point and they make those areas sensitive, uh, uh, which are photosensitive film on it, the drum. So image is produced as the signal or the light strikes on it. And when, the use of raster screen or some uh, principle, they form a tiny dot. And those areas or those characters get exposed, and then they just transfers the toner to the paper. You can see that ink powder. So the paper then moves to fusing station, and then likewise this drum get, after the making the impression on the paper, this is discharged and cleaned up, and likewise the whole character or image is printed on the paper. So you should remember in non-impact printer, laser printer, inkjet printer, and one more. What was that?
thermal printer,
Thermal printers, right. Now, inkjet printers, the way three types of inks are used to make the color version of the text or the document or whatever you want to print. So they are non-impact character printers, and it uses the dot matrix approach to print any text or graphics. So dots are formed by droplets of ink, and the printer they print the character by spraying small drops of inks onto the paper, like spray nozzle spray, like that. So special type of inks they use, and which is having high iron content, to forming the drops, and these droplets are electrically charged after leaving the nozzle, and it passes through the wall. Now, that much is enough. Some inks are used in inkjet printers, and they print 40 to 300 characters per second. All right, and can produce multicolor printouts because three basic inks are used. All right, the same basic colors: red, blue, and yellow. And thermal printers, they produce images by pushing some heat or electrically heated pins against the a special heat or a sensitive paper. So that's why they are called the thermal printers. So heat sensitive, coating those papers are having, and when a spot on the spatial paper is heated, so it becomes dark. So the character, printed with a matrix of dots. So that is the thing, and the speed of such type of printers will be 200 characters per second. The speed and name of the printer and the type of the printer, that much is enough. Don't go into much detail. Now, sometimes they ask about the motherboard, how which components or which circuitries are there in the motherboard. It is either in the motherboard or outside the motherboard. They may ask. So the main circuit board of any system, or especially in a computer, the main printed circuit board which is in the computer, which is the, you can say, heart or brain of the computer, is called the motherboard. So other name for this central computer unit are like system board or main board or PWB, that is the printed wired board. So motherboard, sometimes they are called MOBO, MOBO. Now this contains various components, and the main circuit board, which contains your CPU units, your external memory units, some slots, some bridges, some connectors. So everything connected, externally you are connected, some cable or using some port or connector. So these are connected to, at some point, to the motherboard. So there are various sockets, and some space also available here on motherboard, for the use in future. So they can enhance the, maybe your storage capacity or more functionality, because every day new invention, new techniques come. So there are certain space provided on the motherboard, for those purposes. And there are some cooling system, because electronic systems are very much heat sensitive. The heat or the temperature, affect their efficiency, their working, their functionality. So some cooling fans, small fans were there. So all things are assembled, the storing devices, capacitors or resistors or memory units. So all those are, there on the motherboard. Some or the other way, you are linking you're able to connect through the motherboard to the circuit on the motherboard. So just remember these things. I think that much is enough for today. The rest we'll cover. We'll study tomorrow the digital initiatives in higher education. So today the topics we have covered are small, but they are very, very important.